bridge that's directly over the 101 freeway. Police Department, LAPD, has shut down one of the directions of the 101. Protesters have filled this area. They're almost on every single bridge that crosses over the 101 freeway. Behind me, this direction, multiple cars are on fire. This is just one of the exits to that freeway. On the other direction, Los Angeles City Hall. Police Department is continuing to fire off rounds into the ground, making those loud noises that you hear, trying to push protesters back.
You guys just need to get back.
For the second straight day, police are forcing protesters out of the area right next to the federal building. They've been shooting off what look like pepper balls and other things at the ground, telling protesters to leave the area, leave the area. Although officers are slowly pushing people back, you're starting to hear some loud bangs, water bottles being thrown. They're pushing us, saying, move, leave the area, leave the area. They're clearing the area that was right by the 101 freeway. They haven't shot anything that we've seen, but right now you're hearing this, hold the line, push the line. We're being pushed back toward the federal building.
ABC 10 News executive reporter Adam RACUSIN, who's live with the protesters in LA. Adam?
And Kimberly, things have definitely intensified within the past hour. I mean, just take a look behind me. They're just declaring what's known as an unlawful assembly, which means they have the legal right to move everybody out of this area. Sometimes they've done this by force. This is by far the most law enforcement presence that we have seen in the past 2 days that we've been here. It looks like the sheriff's department is back there. I can't even tell. It looks like they're on trucks, but ready to push in this direction. I can't. Dozens of law enforcement, if not more, that are lining the street right here. Directly behind them is the overpass to the 101 freeway. We've watched as more and more people have headed down the street right here, gathering out in front of the federal building. That's where the National Guard has been staged. They've somewhat dispersed once the sheriff's department notified that they were going to call that unlawful assembly. But now you're seeing them show up right here where the police department are, and they're starting that chant, shame, shame, shame. The protest has kind of gone through ebbs and flows. There's been loud, aggressive, and then calm. In the past hour, we've seen people light fires and throw things, but every time that happens, the crowd pushes back and things seem to calm down. I was able to talk with one protester about why he showed up here today.
Can you step out,
I respect the law. I respect the blue. I support the police. I'm against injustice and the mistreatment of good people.
And so, Kimberly, we've heard that from a lot of people that have showed up here today, where there has been that calm of once somebody incites something that becomes more aggressive, they've asked them to stop and calm down. But this is by far the most aggressive that we've seen with anything with the police department today. The federal building is just down the street, City Hall just down the street from here as well. We'll continue to monitor this. But again, they just declared this an unlawful assembly, meaning they have the legal right to ask the crowd to disperse. And if they don't disperse, they can use that force against them. We'll let you know what ends up happening. Continue to follow this here. Reporting live in downtown Los Angeles, Adam RACUSIN, ABC 10 News. Kimberly, I'm on the side of the 101 freeway where protesters have broken through an area of the fence and taken over the freeway. Right now, police are pushing those protesters back off. We've seen several people arrested so far. This comes directly after police moved in on the federal building and moved protesters out of that area. Things are taking a little bit of a turn here. Protesters are throwing water bottles and other things at the police officers. I'm going to turn this around and show you what it looks like right here. Police officers are moving protesters off. There's a firework that was shot off right here. Right here, some people have been arrested right off of the 101 freeway. Officers look like they have some of the lanes blocked off right now, trying to keep people back. Other protesters are running out of that area and back toward the open hole in the fence, trying to get out of here. We'll continue to watch this and bring you the very latest on ABC 10 News. I'm out front of the correctional facility in downtown Los Angeles where protesters have been most of today. This is right next to the federal building where we spent the past few days. Just a few minutes ago, protesters made it through a hole that was in the fence next to the 101 freeway. We're standing on the bridge right next to that. They were able to get down to the freeway and shut off one of the lanes of that freeway, which caused a large-scale response from law enforcement. We've been kicked out of several different areas and pushed back, and now just take a look at how many officers protesters are standing guard right here, blocking off any access to the federal building, and more are moving in to the 101 freeway to make sure that protesters don't get anywhere near that. This is also the same area that the National Guard has been staging. Earlier today, we watched the National Guard make an arrest, which was different from what we've seen the past few days here. They've typically just been standing outside of the federal building, standing guard. Today, they moved in, tackled a gentleman, and arrested him. We're not sure for. That prompted a large-scale response from the police department at that point, and they started shooting off loud bangs into the crowd, pushing people back. And we do know that several people were arrested. That's back from this direction here, which we're being kept away from at this point. You see all the different law enforcement cars. So not sure how many people have been arrested, but right now, a very large-scale law enforcement presence here outside of the federal building. We'll continue to watch this and keep you updated with any information.